The situation was very serious when the Vijayanagara army arrived. Peda Komati Varna had already invaded the kingdom of Rajamundri and crossed the Godavari river. Kataya Varna, who was in trouble, got encouraged when help arrived from Vijayanagara. Kataya Varna, with help from Vijayanagara, defeated Peda Komati Varna at Rameshwaram and made him run away. Change in situation. When Firoz Shah and the Bahmani army arrived, they won several victories. In one of these battles, Kataya Varna was killed. Devaraya sent more soldiers to help after hearing about the disasters. Dode Allah, the commander-in-chief, rallied the forces and achieved some successes against the enemy. War moves westwards. The war moved from the Godavari Delta to the Velama dominions on the north bank of the Krishna river. The Bahmani Sultan and the rear of Vijayanagara became the main fighters in the war. The fort of Pangal, a very strong fort, was important because it controlled the route from Vijayanagara to the Godavari Delta. Firoz Shah wanted to capture this fort and sent his forces in 1417. Devarai tried to stop the attack but was defeated. The siege of the fort lasted 2 years, but the fort held out. The attacking forces suffered from hunger and disease. Victory for Devaraya. Devarai gathered new troops and help from Hindu chiefs, including the Velamas, and surrounded the attackers. The soldiers inside the fort, encouraged by the arrival of help, attacked the besiegers. Bahmani forces were caught between two armies and were defeated. The Sultan fled. Devaraya took full advantage of the victory and re-established control over the Krishna-Tungabhadra region. Devarai got involved in the affairs of the kingdom of Rajamundri. This led to a conflict with the king of Arisa, Gajapati Bhanudeva IV. Gajapati Bhanudeva IV invaded Rajamundri for reasons that are not known today. To protect Rajamundri, Devarai sent a military expedition to the Godavari Delta. Before any fighting started, Dode Allah, also known as Alada, using his diplomatic skills, made peace between the two rulers. Both rulers returned to their kingdoms peacefully. This peaceful resolution was important because it marked the beginning of a long rivalry between the Gajapatis, kings of Arisa, and the Rayas, kings of Vijayanagara. This rivalry would lead to conflicts along the east coast for over a century. Devarai was an excellent organizer of armies. For 50 years, 1372 to 1422, he worked to make his army more efficient. He was the first king in his family to recognize the importance of cavalry, soldiers on horseback. The last years of Devarai's reign were peaceful. The kingdom was not disturbed by wars. Devarai probably spent his last years relaxing and enjoying the company of wise and learned people. Devarai was excellent at organizing his army. He worked for 50 years, 1372 to 1422, to make his army more efficient. Devarai was the first king in his family to understand how important cavalry, soldiers on horseback, was. This helped his armies succeed in battles. Ahmad Shah, a ruler, waged war on Vijayanagara, but it didn't end as well for him as some historians say. There might have been an unrecorded attack by Vijayanagara on Gulbarg, making the Sultan move his government to a safer place. Devarai too defeated a powerful cavalry in 1429-30 during a Bahmani invasion in 1423. Who was Devaraya II? Devaraya II was the next king from the Sangama dynasty in South India. He ruled the Vijayanagara Empire. He was known for being a great ruler, a brave warrior, and a good writer. Devaraya II wrote famous books in 2 languages, Kannada and Sanskrit. In Kannada, he wrote Sobagana Son and Amaruka. In Sanskrit, he wrote Mahantaka Sudhanidhi. He supported famous poets like Chamrasa and Kumaravyasa. Niccolo Conti, an Italian traveler, visited Vijayanagara during Devaraya II's rule. Abdul Razak, a Persian historian, also visited and wrote about his experiences. Devaraya II, the king of Vijayanagara, had 2 major victories against the rulers of Andhra and Arisa. These 2 rulers were allies, friends who worked together. Devaraya II's victories were connected because he fought both rulers as part of a bigger plan. One reason Devaraya II attacked was because the Velama ruler had betrayed him in a recent war with the Bahmani kingdom. But the main reason was that the Velama ruler and the king of Arisa, Gajapati Bhanudeva IV, had invaded coastal Andhra. They took over the region from Vijayanagara's officers and nobles, important people who managed the area. Around 1428 CE, Devaraya II finally managed to drive out these invaders. There isn't much detailed information about the events of this war. Bhanudeva IV, the king of Orissa, led an attack to the south. Linga, the chief of Devarkonda, a Velama leader, joined him. They first attacked the Reddy kingdom of Rajamundry. Alada, who revived the power in Rajamundry with Devaraya I's help, died around 1422. His second son, Virabhadra, became king, with the help of his elder brother, Varna. Varna was a skilled general and administrator but was aggressive in expanding into Orissa. Bhanudeva IV attacked to stop the Reddies' aggression. He wanted to control the coastal Andhra region. Despite resistance from Varna and Virabhadra, they had to submit to Bhanudeva IV. Aftermath. Bhanudeva IV then aimed to control the Kondavidu kingdom. Raja Varna, the ruler of Kondavidu, was assassinated in 1424, leaving the kingdom without a leader. Vijaynagara's nobles tried to take control, but were not strong enough because of a Bahmani invasion. Bhanudeva IV, with Linga's help, crossed the Krishna river and overpowered Vijayanagara's nobles, taking control of the region. After freeing his kingdom from Muslim invaders, Devaraya II attacked the Gajapati and Velamas. Although details of this war are unclear, the outcomes are known. The territories of the old Reddy kingdom of Kondavidu were reclaimed and added to the Vijayanagara Empire. The power of the Reddys of Rajamundry, which had been weak between 1424 and 1427, was fully restored. After the war with the Gajapati, Vijayanagara enjoyed 6 or 7 years of peace. There were no foreign wars or internal problems during this time. Peace ended with the death of Bahmani Sultan Ahmad Shah. His son, Alauddin II, became the new Bahmani Sultan. This led to new wars between Devaraya II and the Bahmani Sultan, 2 major wars. First War, 1435–36. This war occurred around 1435–36. It took place in the Krishna-Tungabhadra Doab region, focusing on the forts of Mudgal and Raichur. Alauddin II started the war. Muslim historians' accounts of this war are conflicting and unreliable. Evidence suggests that Alauddin II's invasion was a failure despite claims of victory. Second War, 1443–44. This war happened around 1443–44. Causes are described by Firishta. Devaraya II investigated why he was often defeated by the Bahmani sultans. He found that his horses were inferior and that Bahmani archers were excellent. He hired Muslim archers to train his soldiers. He assembled a large army and invaded the Bahmani kingdom. However, there were already many Muslims in the Vijayanagara army since Devaraya I's time. The real cause of the war was Sultan Alauddin II wanting to exploit Devaraya II's misfortune and demand money.
Sultan Alauddin II of the Bahmani kingdom wanted to take advantage of a problem in Vijayanagara and demanded a lot of money from Devaraya II. When Devaraya II refused to pay, the war started. One of Devaraya II's brothers invited the king, prince, and nobles to a feast. The brother planned to kill everyone at the feast. Devaraya II didn't go to the feast because he wasn't feeling well. The treacherous brother visited him and attacked him, thinking he killed Devaraya II. Devaraya II, although badly injured, survived and told the people not to trust the traitorous brother. The people captured and killed the brother. The incident created a lot of chaos and confusion in the kingdom. Many important people were killed. Bahmani Sultan's demand. Seeing the chaos, the Bahmani Sultan demanded a lot of money, 7 lakhs of varahas. Devaraya II refused to pay. As a result, war broke out between Vijayanagara and the Bahmani Sultan.